All right, we're going to talk about Arena right now. Now, this is considered, or at least as far as I know, the best defensive team. And at best, there are some offensive teams that win like 60% of the time. Now, we're going to go up against a bunch of other teams where there's a 100% win rate, but this one right here will hold, let's say 40% of the time. And I'm going to try something new with Dormammu to see if I can beat this team. Now, before we get into it, I kind of want to showcase why that's the best team. A lot of people are using Odin, Fantastic 3, Professor X, Odin. The other one that I see a lot of is the Fantastic 3, Emma, and Professor X. And so what the idea is that Emma was fixed, and if the Professor X goes first, you win. And that's why it's a coin flip. And I think it's closer to a 60-40 because there's some ways that the computer plays it wrong and you can still pull a victory off. But it's really about whose Professor X goes first. And so Emma is determining that. So before we get into that, we're going to use what I just said, Emma, to defeat this team. So the team we're playing for is Fantastic 3, Odin, and Professor X. And the reason why this team is going to lose, in theory, if my matches work out correctly, is that we're going to use OG Emma, and this should allow for my Professor X to go first and just simply win the match. And I don't think that this is, in theory, a team where you always win, or like the team I'm using right now should have a 90% chance of winning. So we're going to just target Xavier. And as long as my Professor X survives and deletes. Other thing, too, is I was running this with Human Torch, and it was creating some problems. And in general, Human Torch is better on offense, and Mr. Fantastic is better on defense. So this match is simply determined by my Professor X goes first. Because of the Emma, I win. It's just that simple. There's nothing else to this match, and that's the reason why. So, because of this situation with Emma, people started putting Emma on defense. And that has a counter to it also, which I'm going to showcase right here. And there's a reason why putting Emma on defense is not the right way to go. And there's also a team that beats that team 100% of the time, or 90% of the time, right? 90% of the time it beats it. So we'll just clean this up there. We won ours went first, therefore we win. It was not a coin flip because of Emma. So because of this situation, people came to the conclusion, which makes sense. Okay, well, I'll just put Emma on defense. That way I don't get rolled by a faster Professor X because of the Emma. And where we're going to go with this is people start doing Fantastic 3, Professor X, and Emma. Well, that's right here. Well, there's a team that beats that. And it's a team that doesn't even have Professor X. So Apocalypse counters the opposing Emma's passive. And so this is just going to make for a faster team. And we're going to delete their Professor X before he even takes a turn. Now, there are some things. We're using Human Torch, and he has to be at 11. This does not work at 10 because he'll die. And then we've got to do a basic with Invisible Woman. So this is a non-Professor X team that is going to beat Fantastic 3, Emma, and Professor X. We're going to beat that team. I'll show you how it works. And this is a 100% win, or not 100%, 90% win. Now, because we are not running Professor X, their Mr. Fantastic will have the taunt, but we're going to immediately clear that with Franklin, who's going first in the match because we've countered their Emma and we're running an Emma ourselves. Now, this is the part of the match that's kind of tricky. We're going to target Professor X, and we're going to do a basic, and that's going to put some bleeds on there. Now, the reason why Human Torch has to be at 11 is that he'll die there. And if he's not at 11, he dies. We're going to do the special, and this should kill their Professor X. And then we win the match before they even take a turn. So we'll do it like this. This should kill their Franklin and stun their Invisible Woman. We can delete their Mr. Fantastic. and the match is over, right? Absolutely over. We'll do a basic attack there, and it's up. All right, so then this has shifted the meta to a position where, well, if you're going to run Emma on offense, I'm just going to run Apocalypse on defense. And so that's what I'm trying to say. The strongest defensive team is going to be Fantastic 3, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Franklin, Professor X with Apocalypse. And the reason why people are running Apocalypse is to shut down me cheesing it with Emma myself. So this is going to be the strongest team on defense. And I have tried so many things. I feel like it's just a coin flip on whomever's Professor X goes first, and then you win the match. It just seems that way. For the longest time, I was running Shadow King, and I feel like with Shadow King, I can win 60% of the time. Now, I don't know if this works. I tried it yesterday, and it won every match. And so this will be my third day trying this Dormammu thing. And the idea here is that maybe I'm hoping to have a better than 60% win rate with this, because there's nothing on the other team that's going to shut down revives. Well, there's a couple exceptions to that, of course, but it's not like Mephisto's on the board. Dormammu was completely shut out of the meta, mostly because of Mephisto. So we're going to run this, and we'll take a look at how this goes. And when I was testing this yesterday, I won every match. Of course, I'm recording right now, and it won't win. We'll find out. We're going to find out. In theory, it should work. All right. Dormammu is there just to give the revive, right? All right, we're going to target the Professor X over there. And the idea is even if they're, in theory, the idea is if their Professor X goes first, then we can still revive. I mean, is that the idea? That's the idea. We still have the revives, right? All right, so this is the situation. Their Professor X goes first. All right, so there we go. You got to do basic there. Let's see if this works out. So we got him back. That's not going to do anything. Let's see if we can win this. If we get to the ultimate, we win. I don't think so. I don't think this is going to keep me alive. All right, well, we tried. I mean, I don't know if this is a 60% win rate or better. I don't know. I don't know if we had a chance there, right? I don't feel like we did. The only way I think we could have had a chance there is if my Professor X died to their Professor X special. So we'll try it one more time. And it's a complete failure if this loses, I guess. I feel like we're still down to this coin flip. If this doesn't work, then I'll go back to my position that Shadow King was the best choice. There's also some question on where the best placing of Apocalypse. A lot of discussion has happened about that in the last couple of days, and the general consensus is putting Apocalypse in the middle will help against Emma matches because of the order of operations. All right. And that's considered position 1. I haven't seen a video that's conclusive on that. All right, let's see if we go here. All right. Okay, so he died, right? So this is okay. Yes, this is what I was talking about. Because he died, he no longer has trauma blind, right? Dormammu for the win! Dormammu for the win? Oh, maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so they've got blind everywhere. It's working! When it so 60% of the time, it works 100% of the time. All right. It works 100% of the time, 60% of the time. I don't know, something like that, but it did work. It did work, right? All right, who does not have all of the problems? You. Okay, there we go. We got to get through. There we go. All right. If I lose right here, then we're gonna be like, whoops. Oh. All right. Well, let's see here. Let's just do this. Uh-oh. Are we gonna lose the whole thing? Oh my God. Are we see what's happening now is because they're running Apocalypse, they actually have higher damage because of Apocalypse. Apocalypse passive boosts the damage to allies. Now, he also boosts health, but in arena, my Professor X offsets that. There's a line in the Professor X passive that shuts that down. So we're gonna do one more attack on it, and let's see if this Dormammu arena meta is back or not, or if it is a fluke. I have played this match, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 times, and that one loss that I had was the first loss, but I was winning the coin flips. So there was a situation right there that I lost the coin flip, and I won just because he died before he got to take a turn. Now, if I win the coin flip, I just win. Like you're also, because that's the thing is if my Professor X goes first, I win. It's just that simple. So let's see if we can get that. That should give us some barrier. Yes, we lost the coin flip. Yeah, that we're not going to win this one. Maybe. Maybe. No, we lose. We'll play one more. One more. We're going to play one more. Just one more hit. All right, one more. We lost the conflict. But that's what's happening when I was using somebody else. Like if I was using, let's say Shadow King, for example, that way it was playing out the same way as it did right there. And so I'm trying to get a situation where my win rate is higher than 50%, maybe like 70%. I'm not sure that this team will do it, but you can see that I did have a situation where I lost the coin flip of which Professor X going first, and I still won. There's another situation where, because I'm putting Professor X on the end, sometimes he targets the opposite side. And then when that happens, because the AI plays it wrong, the enemy targets the opposite side when I lose the coin flip. And then I won't have the trauma blind. Well, oh, we're in trouble now. No. Nope. Yeah. No, there's no winning here. Well, I'm not going to title the video about Dormammu being the best. I'm probably going to switch back to Shadow King. The Shadow King instead of Dormammu. I feel like I was winning about 60% of the time with Shadow King. What happens when I use Shadow King is sometimes when I lose the coin flip, the Professor X targets the opposite side and doesn't hit the Professor X, and then I can win the match. Anyways, nice idea. We're trying. Bye for now.